Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and geez, actually, nice outside. Anyway, OCD is a funny thing. um, so today's video from earlier today was actually from yesterday. I just kind of was very busy and I didn't upload it until today. So I feel the need to express myself every day. So I can't just be like, I'll just gotta sit on this until tomorrow. No. Something very interesting is happening in crowdfunding, and I include Rippaverse as crowdfunding, in that the great truth over the last few years, which was being on time is the most important thing in crowdfunding, and it's the only conversation we're going to have, looks like it's not true. And I say this based on, like I said, I'm the guy who's always upsetting the apple cart. It's just for years. And then 5 years later, or even sooner, people are saying exactly what I said, like word for word, when it's safe. But I've always kind of been like, and I believe Ethan's the same way. It's like, yeah, it sucks these things are late, but good stuff takes time. You can shit out 2 or 3 Rippaverse books every single month, but if something is detailed, and I'm telling you, if there is a thing I would go back in time to stop, it is Art Adams putting seams on Cyclops gloves, because that raised the expectation of detail in a way that's never been undone. There's a lot of people say like, oh, Jack Kirby, he did whatever, 4 monthly comics, and it's like, yeah, but also, number one, he was a phenomenon, but number two, look at the level of detail. It's not what is expected now. You can't, it's basically just shapes. It's just broad shapes, like the shoulder is a circle, the bicep is a tube. Man, they did not know anatomy. There was like these 3 little kind of like commas they would do for the rib cage, and that was it. That's all you got. Now you're getting every striation of every muscle, every window, and that's like what is expected. The expectations for modern good art, they are not achievable on a monthly basis. Certainly not consistently. There's also a complete fabrication that back in the old days, 70s, 80s, Marvel, like every artist did 12 monthly books a year. Fuck no. There were a couple people here and there that were exceptions, but you would get 3 or 4 issues in a row, then a fill-in, and then another artist, and then you go back to whatever, Mike Vosberg. So the lateness thing has always been like, I'm always being told, it's like, oh, you got to be like these guys. I'm like, but those guys suck. Like, I'm not running a company to mail things. Mailing things is part of the business, but that's not the sole focus. So what's happening is, Rippaverse blew up, and he was, oh, you got to be like him. You got to be like him. And I'm just like, I know how to mail things, but I don't want to mail shit. And then other people who got raked over the coals for being late, for a while it looked pretty bad. It's like, well, this Rippaverse, whatever. And now, I mean, Alpha Core, at one point it was 90% down from the first issue. Now I believe it's settled out to about 80%. But I mean, this is shocking. And I used to get all this pushback anytime I gave the mildest criticisms of Rippaverse. And that's pretty much disappeared. Especially when you got all the defenders, like, oh shit, we're just supposed to pay for the honor of him having a warehouse and a bunch of employees and the ego boost that gives him. It's just like, just shit. So, there have been people, I think, obviously I've been late, and, I don't know, other people have been late, but then I'm noticing a lot of the, like, people who used to get like, oh, you're late, and be like Eric July, except for Eric July is plummeting, but those people are kind of continuing. So it's looking like lateness isn't the major factor in crowdfunding, but rather quality. And if you can deliver a quality book, you can be late. People aren't crazy about it. I don't think anyone's happy about this. I know for me, it's like the first thing I think about when I wake up. It's the last thing I think. I'm not like, mwahaha. Um, but it's just like, hey, like, I will do and redo a book until I think it's good. Because once it's out there, man, it's out there forever. And I'm wondering at the point, there's got to be this snapping point for every Rippaverse acolyte where you just look and you go, I've spent $750 to prop up an imbecile who can barely speak English. He can barely, like, the English language just freaking KOs him on a weekly basis. So maybe lateness isn't a factor. Now, I don't want to broad brush, because sometimes people, like, they were late like a couple times, but they're mostly on time now. I feel like that lateness, what was I going to call it? Not the stench, I guess stench. The tinge of lateness. It never, like, even like Rob Liefeld, he was talking about, like, he's getting, like, all his books lately have been on time, but all anyone ever says is like, oh, Youngblood 1 was whatever, how many months late. And again, lateness isn't great, but the myth that was the only thing, the main thing, the primary thing. Like, I'm going through all these hoops to get my next book, like, completely done and printed. Honestly, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference in the sales at all. You know, it's kind of a niche thing. And crowdfunding is kind of settled into more realistic expectations. But the idea that lateness is the deciding factor, that lateness is the great evil, that being on time is the only thing that matters or the main thing that matters, man. Have you seen Rippaverse books? He was talking about that Yaira book. The art was dog shit, and he seemed like completely unfazed by it. Like, it was unreleasable. I also had, like, a thought, because Rippaverse is so bad, like, you need to, like, sit and ponder, and you'll notice other facets. Everything he creates reads like it was on a schedule. Like, he had his Google Calendar, and it said 10 a.m. to 10:15 a.m., create black superhero based on me. 10:15 to 10:30 a.m., create white female superhero based on Wonder Woman. And then it's like, whatever, take a break, have a snack. 11 a.m. to 11:02 a.m., create a cop-based superhero team. And so, yeah, so it's not great when things are late. Kudos to you who have cracked the code and you aren't late. But I think the ultimate thing is quality. Are the books good, you know? And people will kind of grumble about waiting, but if the book's actually good, it's going to be good forever, you know, and the lateness is going to fade over time. Anyway, thanks for watching.